All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to week 2 of social studies. This week, we are going to jump right into our first unit talking about geography. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 themes of geography. So go ahead and get your notebook out. Get ready to take some notes. It's going to be pretty short, and there will be some work to go along with this presentation. Check the to-do list on Canvas for that for today. But let's go ahead and get started. So the 5 themes of geography. Theme number 1, location. When we talk about location, we are asking where something is and why it's there. So there's 2 types of locations here today, guys, and make sure you distinguish between the 2 of these in your notes. Type number 1 of location is called absolute location. Absolute location, you're talking about specifics. You're just talking about a specific place on the Earth's surface, uses a grid system that I'm sure you're all pretty familiar with called latitude and longitude, and it's the global address of something. So some examples of absolute location. North Carolina is located at 36 degrees north latitude and 79 degrees west longitude. Chapel Hill, one of my favorite places in North Carolina, go Tar Heels, is located at 35 degrees 55 minutes north latitude and 79 degrees 5 minutes west longitude. The reason we use minutes is North Carolina is pretty big, so you can say where it is on either side, and you say where it is. You don't really need to get specific. You just need to get in the ballpark, and that's why we use the bigger degrees. Chapel Hill is a town or a city within North Carolina, so it's smaller, so we have to get more specific. Minutes just helps the map get the points on the map get more specific. So relative location, guys, this is really easy. Relative location talks about where a certain place is in relation to or relative to another place. And we use directional words to say this. And here's the example that I included for you. North Carolina is bordered by Virginia to the north, South Carolina and Georgia to the south, and Tennessee to the west. The Atlantic Ocean forms North Carolina's east coast. It's basically talking about where other things are in relation to North Carolina, right? I could even go super simple and I could say, okay, there is a Walmart to the west of my house, which there is. So that's relative location. Or my house is to the east of the Walmart. Same thing, right? Relative location, talking about where something is in relation to something somewhere else, using directional words. That's relative location. So moving right along, and I apologize if I'm going fast. I'm trying to keep this video short. You can pause and rewind and all that sort of other stuff when you have it playing on Canvas, but I don't want to upload a 30-minute video for you guys because that's just a lot to watch. So moving right along, theme number 2 of the 5 themes of geography is place. So when we talk about place, we talk about 2 types of characteristics. The first of which is physical characteristics. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. Talk about land features, mountains, plains, plateaus, the climate of a place. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it a rainforest? Is it a desert? And bodies of water, right? Rivers, lakes, streams, oceans, that sort of thing. Pretty self-explanatory, right? I can only assume you're going, right, Mr. Lowe. Yes, that's so easy. So that's good. Good job. Some physical characteristics we have here in North Carolina, the Outer Banks, the mountains. We have Mount Mitchell, which is the highest peak east of the Mississippi River, which is what kind of location? What kind? Oh, relative location. Oh, that's good. Thank you. Good job. Relative location is an example of that sign. Theme number 2, when we're talking about place, is the human characteristics of a place. So we talked about the physical characteristics of a place. Now we're going to talk about human. When you're talking about human characteristics, you're talking about the people of a place and their culture, their language, their religion, their buildings and landmarks, their cities, all the sort of stuff that make their place unique to them. So when we talk about France, you've got what? The French language, the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, the Louvre. You've got Catholicism predominant. You've got Paris. You've got Marseille. You've got Saint Mary Église. You've got all sorts of different places, right, that make France, France. Just like here, stuff that makes North Carolina, North Carolina is our people, right? Human characteristics could even go as far as saying the UNC Duke rivalry, right? That's an inherently North Carolina thing. That is a human characteristic of North Carolina. We've got the city of Charlotte. We've got the universities that we have, like Chapel Hill, or my alma mater, Campbell University, is here. So the human characteristics of a place really are the things that humans have put there to make it their own. Type 3, or theme 3 of the 5 themes of geography is human-environment interaction. It's how people interact with their environment. People adapt to it, they modify it, and they depend on it. So we adapt to it. If it's cold all the time, we buy some winter clothes so we can live comfortably, right? We modify it, we build things. Every building in the history of the world is a modification to the environment, right? Because none of them were here originally. However the world got started, buildings were not there. They came after. So every single building, every single thing ever made is a modification to the environment. And then we depend on our environment, right? Our environment feeds us. Our environment gives us a place to live and call home. So we need our environments to live happy, healthy, successful lives. So some North Carolina human-environment interaction. We build dams to change the water flow and create lakes like Lake Norman. That's a man-made lake, so that's a big modification to the environment. We build malls. We build all sorts of stuff, right? So we adapt to it, we modify it, and we depend on our environment. Human-environment interaction. So theme 4, almost done. Promise. Theme 4 is talking about movement. So how we move people, goods and services, and ideas. How do we move people from the United States to France? How do we move people from England to Vietnam? How do we move people from Zimbabwe to Argentina? How do we move? How do we move goods from any of those places to any other of those places, right? Do we just dump it in the ocean and hope it shows up? No. We use planes, we use trains, we use automobiles, we use ships, we use all sorts of good stuff. How do we move ideas, right? How did Christianity move from a little town in the Middle East 2,000 years ago to Lincolnton, North Carolina 2,000 years later? How did that happen? How did we get here? So that's what we talk about when we're talking about movement, the 5 themes of geography. One of the key ones, I think, is movement. How do we move things, ideas, people, goods from one place to another? Because that in turn shows us how the whole world, how any given place is connected to any other given place. We're all connected, guys. We are all connected. So some examples of movement here in our great state. We have trains, we have ships bringing things and taking things away. We build great big roads and interstates to move things. So we move a lot. We move, I think, a lot more than a lot of people think we do. Number 5, so the last of the 5 themes today is regions. So regions are always talking about what places have in common. They can be political regions. Historically, the southeastern part of the United States has been pretty conservative, right? So we are a politically conservative region, or at least we have been historically, if we look at our election history. Landform regions, talking about like mountainous regions like the Himalayas or the Alps, right? These mountain ranges they go through multiple countries. So rather than say like, oh, the Nepalese part of the Himalayas, we can just say the Himalayas, the Himalayan region, because it encompasses, China, Nepal, Tibet, all these different countries where the Himalayas are. So we talk about places like that, like the Sahara Desert goes across all of northern Africa. So it encompasses a lot of area. So we just say that's the Saharan region. Agricultural regions, right? Historically, the southeastern part of the United States has planted what? Cotton, tobacco. Those were our two big crops that we had. Whereas if you go to like Idaho, they are known for potatoes and things other than tobacco and cotton. So we talk about like that region up there near Idaho is a lot different agriculturally than our region down here. And then cultural regions, a lot of different places. You can group that by religion. You can group that by pretty much anything you want. Religiously speaking, the Middle East, predominantly Islamic, predominantly Muslim. So that could be a Muslim region, so type of thing. So that's what we mean when we talk about regions, right? Different types of regions. So I think that's it. So here, obviously, we've got the Outer Banks region, the mountain region, all that sort of stuff. And okay, so the presentation is now over. Thank you for watching. Please check the Canvas page for the to-do list for today and for the rest of the week and for every week. It's going to say SS to do and then the date. This presentation is there on Monday along with your assignment for this presentation. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And I will talk to you shortly. We will Zoom on Tuesday and Thursday this week as classes. If you want to set up individual Zoom times with me, please let me know. But if not, I will see you guys Tuesday and Thursday of this week, and I hope you have a great one.